Now I understand some stuff. I used to just think I was funny. Yo, I'm just funny. No. I'm funny for a reason. God has reason behind this funny, and he was preparing it all along. Even though I didn't know it, he was setting me, he was getting this thing right all along. God is like a navigation device in your car. I get celebrities all the time. Explain God to me. I can't. If I could explain God, he wouldn't be God. But this is what I say. God is similar, way greater, to a navigation device in your car. You ever been in a car with a navigation device before? You ever been in a car? How about that? You ever been in a car before? If you punch in the coordinates as to where you want to go and it says go 10 blocks and turn left, then you go 10 blocks and turn right. It doesn't abandon what you're supposed to do. It recalculates what you need to do to get to where you're supposed to be based upon where you are. The only problem is if we keep making the wrong turns, the road conditions are going to be different. They may be rougher and you run out of time. So you have to be sensitive to listen to that voice to make the right choice about where you're supposed to be. And that voice has a name. That voice is clearly God. It's clearly Jesus. It's the Holy Spirit trying to talk to you. Another name that God has, I share with a lot of people when people didn't know they had to. God shared this with me. I get to share it with the rest of the world. Another name that God has is something. S-O-M-E-T-H-I-N-G, something. Let me prove it right now before the Pharisees leave the room. We always get a choice in life. We could choose A, which is the right thing to do, or we could choose B, which looks like fun. Sometimes we choose B. Then you got to deal with the consequences from choosing B. And one of the first things that come out your mouth while you're dealing with the consequences is, man, something told me not to do this. That something is clearly God trying to talk to you. So I'm doing a show. There's a club in Los Angeles, it's another hard club to get into. It's called the Kanye Magic Club. George Wallace knew I was in Los Angeles. He takes me to the Kanye Magic Club. In the green room, I'm brand new in town. I just moved to Los Angeles. In the green room is Gary Shanley, George Wallace, now Jay Leno. These are some soldiers in comedy. They're working on a joke for Jay Leno's monologue for the following week. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just happy to be in the room. But your gift will make room for you. So I'm sitting there, and a football player got hit in the eye with a flag. This is the joke they're working on. Anybody remember that? He got hit in the eye with a flag, and he was suing the league for $400 million because he lost his vision in one eye. Now Leno, Shanley, they're all working on a joke to help Jay Leno out, get it all ready for the next week. I ain't saying nothing. Then they got quiet, and they looked at me, and I was like, oh, snap. This is an opportunity. So I was like, all right, let me see if I got this right. He got hit in the eye with a flag. He lost his vision in one eye, and he's suing the league for $400 million. He's not going to see half of it. No, he's not going to see half. For real? How do I get that quick under that kind of pressure? Yo, I was practicing. I'd been practicing since I was a child in the form of somebody who couldn't read, feeling like I was dealt a bad hand while the devil was constantly saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was practicing, and I was ready for that moment. So now I'm in the club on a regular basis. I'm headlining there. It's cool. Leno saw me, put me on the Tonight Show. We've done it a few times, and Jimmy Kimmel. So now I'm headlining at that club. And right before I got on stage one night, God gave me a change in mindset. What is a mindset? A mindset is a fixed mental attitude that predetermines a person's response or interpretation to a situation. Let me say it again, because it's not on the screen. A mindset is a fixed mental attitude that predetermines a person's response or interpretation to a situation. You get cut off in traffic, we already know you're going to fuss them out. You see a sign that says there's an accident ahead, you mad. A change in mindset, you see that sign that says there's an accident ahead, you start to pray because there's an accident ahead. So God gave me a change in mindset. Romans 12:2, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. God said to me, instead of going up there to get laughs from people, I want you to go up there and give them an opportunity to laugh. It changed the whole game because now I'm not looking to take, I'm looking for an opportunity to give. My gift is no different than anyone's gift in this room, your talent, your skill. What you have to do is not be concerned about what's on the bottom of the invoice, but what are you hearing from the invoice? So anyway, So my mindset has changed. I get up on stage, I do my show, we have a great time. I leave the club, there's people outside, they're buying my merchandise, they're all happy, they want autographs, they're telling me their favorite jokes. It's the same situation whenever I leave this club. But this time while I'm talking to the people, I look across the street and I saw a homeless guy. I had never seen a homeless guy outside the club before, ever. But that doesn't mean he wasn't there before. That just means before my mindset was to get laughs from people. God changed my mindset, Romans 12:2, and now I'm about giving people an opportunity to laugh. Yesterday we did a show at the San Diego Rescue Mission, and one of the guys was like, thanks for caring about us. It wasn't my idea. The Bible says laughter is good like a medicine. I read that. People say it to me all the time. Good stuff, man. Laughter good like a medicine. God said to me, well, you should take it to the sick. Oh, snap. He'll do that. He'll check you sometime while you all, yeah, I'm doing stuff. He's like, well, what about this? I'm like, okay. So I walk outside. I see this homeless guy, and I'm thinking about him. What about him? How could I give him an opportunity to laugh? Then I asked God, and God was like, you really want to know? And I was like, nope. Because you know it's going to be an assignment or something. Then I said yes, and we did this comedy tour. I mentioned it last time. We did a comedy tour, made a movie. It's called Comedy, The Road Less Traveled. The first place he went to was Fort Worth, Texas. There's a place there called the Samaritan House. Everyone there was homeless and have HIV. I didn't think these people would be able to laugh. There was one dude named John. He doesn't talk to anybody. They told me in advance he don't talk to nobody. We did the show. People laughed. John walks up to me afterwards. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is that dude. And he started moving his lips. And he said to me, he said, I just want you to know that up until tonight, I hadn't laughed in over 20 years. When he said that, I almost started crying. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be crying. You better back up. We leave there, we go to Montrose, Colorado. There's a place in Montrose called the Dolphin House. They take care of children who are being abused by their parents who are on drugs. And his grandmother tells him about her grandson who's so afraid of his mom. One of the things his mom has been doing to him is she's been pulling out his toenails. This little boy is so afraid of his mom, everywhere he goes, he wears a Spider-Man costume to protect himself. His grandmother explains to me he doesn't take it off. He don't take it off or anything. I hear his story, I hear all these other kids' stories. Then they bring them all in and I gotta do jokes for them. If my mindset was to get laughs from people, I'm cool. There's no way I would have did the show. God changed my mindset to giving people an opportunity to laugh, so I understand now it's my assignment to do this show. I get up on stage, I start doing comedy, sitting right up front, Spider-Man, full costume. He has his back to me, he's clenching his grandmother sitting on her lap. I start doing comedy, people start laughing. 20 minutes into it, a lot of people are laughing, and then I hear a voice come from right here, and the voice says, my name is Ronan. This little boy pulls off his mask and introduces himself to me. And he starts talking to me for like 9 minutes like I'm not doing a comedy show. He talked about Spider-Man, he talked about Batman. He said, Batman has a belt. And I was like, you know, I got a belt too if you don't sit down somewhere, right? That's exactly what happened. Yo, the whole room laughed. It was probably the biggest laugh of the night. Listen, Rock, I can guarantee you it was not in my notes to do a joke about whooping kids in a room full of abused kids. That's just not good math. That's not good math. But God knew what comedy needed to be done. The gorilla, the elephant, so to speak, had to leave the room. We had an amazing time. We leave there, we go to Skid Row. Dude said, I've been homeless for 7 years. I was on crack cocaine for 5 years. I was beaten, stabbed, and left for dead. You gonna make me laugh, Michael Jr.? Thanks for the pressure, dude. Same dude uses his left hand to keep himself from falling out of his chair in laughter. It's cool because you see the transformation that takes place. All I did was show off my gift. My gift isn't any greater than any gift that's in this room. God's not showing me favoritism. You have a gift, you have a talent. You're not funny, great. There's something else you can do that somebody else really, really needs. So we leave there. We go to the Dolphin House, we go to all those places, then we go to a youth prison. The youth prison was, it was a little hard. They just want you to banter with them back and forth. I was like, cool, I could do that. I was like, you know what go good with that muscle shirt? Some muscles. I'm like, what is that, a wife threatener? That stuff was hilarious. So we have fun, we had a great time. We leave there, we go to an adult prison. It's completely different. These are grown men doing real time. I'm going there to do jokes and leave, hopefully. As soon as I walk in, the warden takes my belt from me. He's like, you can't have a belt. Somebody might try to hang you. I'm like, can't they just boo me or something? Why they gotta hang me? I got another show to do. They gonna hang me? So I'm scared for real. I'm scared. I'm in prison, my pants loose. This is a bad idea, man. I'm just saying, I got 7 different ways to look at this, man. So I'm scared, man. I'm walking in. I got no joke. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I had a joke before I got into prison. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one. No, it didn't feel right when I got in there. I was gonna be like, you guys are a captive audience. I just wanna say that. But I didn't feel a peace in my spirit when I got in there, though. I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that joke. It's not safe. So I have no joke. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I walk in, the bars are open in front of me, they close behind you. I'm walking in, all the prisoners got on pink jumpsuits. So what? I ain't saying nothing about them jumpsuits. I got nothing to say. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I walk in, there's no stage, there's no glass. We're not doing comedy on the phone. These cats are right here. And I got nothing, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I got 2 steps left. I put this foot down, I still have no joke. This is my last step. When this foot comes down, I gotta bring the funny, or I don't know what's gonna happen. I lift this foot up, I set it down, and I look, and for real, sitting right up front is a white dude with a white beard named Moses. I was like, thanks, Lord. When I said these words to Moses, the place exploded in laughter. We had an amazing time. I said, Moses, this is what I want you to do. When you see the prison warden, I want you to look him in his eye. You look him right in his eye, and I want you to say, let my people go. For real. 2 things you gotta catch. First of all, I didn't know what I was gonna say or what I was gonna do until I got my feet where they needed to be. Also, how did I get that at that moment, at that time, with that kind of pressure? I was practicing. Even when I didn't know I was practicing, I was practicing. God knows the plans he has for you. He has plans to prosper you. He knows, even if you don't see it. In fact, if you do see it, those are your plans. If you can't see it all, that's God's plans. Because it's gonna take some faith to get there. You're gonna have to be able to hear his voice so you know which choice to make on which way to go.